Max Egan admitted the Earth is flat.
But as I said, folks, I'm here to tell you the truth, the absolute truth, to the best of my knowledge. And as I said, it's going to be an unpleasant truth for a lot of people. But this is, after all, the truth movement, isn't it? So that's what I'm going to do. So here goes, folks. You're living in an enclosed reality. This Earth is flat. All weather is controlled. There's a dome roof over the top. Everything the flat earth is saying, well, not everything, but a lot of what the flat earthers are saying is absolutely true. This is an enclosed environment, and this Earth, where we're playing, this playing field that we're on, whether it's the Earth, but the playing field is flat. I do not think that the Earth is a globe. I think it's actually something quite different to what everybody else thinks, but I don't want to speculate with any of this. But one thing I can confirm absolutely is that the Earth is flat. And all weather is controlled. Obviously I can't confirm the dome, I haven't been up there. And not only is the Earth flat, but what our home has been turned into is basically a theme park like Westworld, where you have a parasitic influence that comes down and plays Westworld with real people. When you look at the work of John Lash with the Archons, and I highly recommend that you read a passage by Carlos Castaneda called The Predator Mind, because this is exactly how it works. And I know that because I almost got my full code of awareness back on Saturday night. And it's a long story, folks. I'm going to try to give it to you in a way that's understandable. But like I said, you'll probably think I'm crazy, but this is how the game works. You're in a game, and you need to know how the game works so you can make it through the next level. And somebody needs to hear this information, because as they tell you in the movies, they tell you everything in the movies. There can be only one. I can tell you what the movies are for. I can tell you what the truth movement's for. The truth movement was to weed out the remnants of the last level. See, when they conquer a world, they conquer it in levels. The first level was Hyperborea, and that's where the white people came from. When Hyperborea was conquered and frozen over, they had an ice age. The people who escaped Hyperborea escaped into the next realm, which I believe to be the Atlantean age, which we are at the end of that age now. Through that age, that would have gone down to Tartaria, and they probably had cataclysms and mud floods and stuff along the way. The mud flood is absolutely correct. The guy from Mud Fossils University is absolutely correct in what he says. The guy from the No Forest on the Flat Earth, I would suggest, is absolutely correct in what he says. This was how they went down the levels, and each time they go down a level, the inhabitants get smaller and smaller and smaller. When they've done the level, all of the mining that they've done from that level, I would suggest they don't need this stuff. It's just, all they're looking for is the crystals and the gold and the silver and the essence of this realm that we're in. So I think they take most of that stuff, they build the stuff we need out of it, and then they just save it all up. And then at the end of the level, they just dump it all in the ocean, or whenever they need a cataclysm or a tidal wave, they just dump a whole bunch of dirt in the ocean, and that creates the tidal wave. That's the earthquake that you hear. That's the big kapunk. When they dump all that soil back in the ocean, and it creates an earthquake. Or an earthquake and a tidal wave. And when they dump enough in there at the end of the level, the mud mixes with the salt water from the ocean, and it floods the places. And as the Mud Fossil University guy says, it covers people with silt and sediment, and the bones turn to stone. And then on the people in the next level, people after the cataclysm, dig these bodies up. They don't know their bodies. They dig them up and they build their homes out of them. So we're essentially living in a tomb. When you look at when the internet came online, as I've said on my talks, also the Lucifer system. That's what it is, folks. It's the Lucifer system, the code that bears the light, and the light is the awareness that it's stealing from you. See, the way the parasite works is that every time you have that aha moment, it steals that energy from you and it puts it online, and therefore you transfer that piece of consciousness into the virtual world, and you lose that essence of your own awareness and becomes part of the machine. And that's how they steal all of your awareness. That's how it goes. We have not really got any idea what virtual reality is and what it's doing and what it has done. It's powered by our awareness. And why they created the truth movement was because at the end of each level, they distill that awareness down. They stage an event such as 9/11. They get someone like Alex Jones to go out there, who's probably a biological robot. They get him to go out there, and he creates the truth movement, and then anybody who is asleep from Hyperborea, who they haven't got rid of yet, at the end of the level here, is going to wake up and go, hey, the truth, and they're going to go through and they're going to want to, push the truth and find out what it is. So if you go through that, by doing that, they distill the essence of the truth. They find out where the one is, because there can only be one. So they tell you in the movies. And that's what the truth movement's for. I've said to you on my shows, it's a fishing exercise. How did I know that? It is. It's a fishing exercise. And that's what they staged 9/11 for. They wanted to find us. Of course, you think that's because they want to keep us contained in the smart cities. No, it's not about that at all. It's because they're looking for the one. There's always one in every cycle. They tell you in the Matrix, there's always one in every cycle. This is the way it works. And so, folks, there's no ego in anything I'm saying here. I'm simply giving you this message because it's extremely important, because someone needs to get through the next level. If we don't complete the next level, I suspect, it may see the end of this realm. And the next level is going to be the third world. But anyway,